Starting off with our big story, the coronavirus outbreak. Italy has reported its second death due to the coronavirus. The death has been reported in the northern region of Lombardy, which has been hard hit by the virus. Over in the Lombardy province, 15 people have tested positive. Earlier today, Italy had reported the first European casualty from the coronavirus outbreak. 78-year-old Adriano Trevisan was hospitalized 10 days ago for a completely unrelated health condition. He was diagnosed with coronavirus based on preliminary tests. But before a definitive confirmation could have been made, he passed away. Adriano hailed from the Veneto region in northeastern Italy. A 67-year-old from the same village has also tested positive. Veneto's provincial head announced a quarantine zone around Adriano's village. All 3,300 village residents will be tested for the virus. The new wave of cases in Italy's northern region of Lombardy has triggered shutdown of shops, offices and community centres. 10 towns in this region have been shut down and close to 50,000 people have been asked to stay indoors. Public events like church masses and sporting events also stand suspended. An initial investigation revealed that the infected people visited the same bar and had a common group of friends. The local administration has announced multiple precautionary measures. The 250 people who came in contact with the patients are now in isolation. 60 workers at the Unilever factory in Lombardy have also been tested. The regional railway organization announced that trains would not stop at 3 stations in the affected areas. Italy's Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte said that everything was under control and that the government was maintaining an extremely high level of precaution.
Buonasera a tutti. Come vi è stato già anticipato.
For more insights, we are now joined by international affairs expert Raffaele Marchetti, live from Rome, Italy. Raffaele is a deputy rector for internationalization and professor of international affairs at the Luis University. Welcome, Professor Raffaele. Tell us, what is the situation on ground in Italy? We are hearing that a second person has died from coronavirus.
Well, there has been an outbreak of a few cases since a couple of days. There were some cases in the past, but these were people who came back from China. Now the situation is different because there have been at least 15 cases reported in the north of Italy. So there are already countermeasures in place, like schools are closed. Public gatherings are forbidden, and other kinds of limitations have been put in places in small villages in the north of Italy where the cases were reported.
Now, the coronavirus, which originated in China, seems to have reached the West. Are authorities in Italy panicking, and what has been their response?
Well, they were kind of expecting it. Of course, there is a bit of, well, not panicking, but a high level of attention. Of course, these come from China, but it is obvious that because of the high global interconnection and interdependence, the viruses will flow very easily to any country that is connected somehow with China, i.e., every single country in the world is potentially vulnerable.
Now, we all know that Italy happens to be one of the biggest tourist destinations in the world. So are travel restrictions coming our way because of this outbreak?
No, for the moment, only there is a travel ban from China, or I mean, not a travel ban, but I mean, the flights are stopped, direct flight from Italy to China. That's the only limitation in place for the moment.
Moving on now, one country that's the worst infected with coronavirus outside of China is South Korea. A dramatic surge in coronavirus cases have been reported in the country. 142 new cases have been reported in South Korea, and as the total number of infected people reaches 346. This sudden jump in infections has raised fears that the outbreak is getting out of control. The Korea Center for Disease Control and Prevention has said that among the new cases, 92 are reportedly related to patients or staff at a local hospital in the Cheongdo County. 2 people have died in South Korea in the current outbreak, and both had been patients at the same hospital. 2 cases have also been reported in Busan.
일부 제한된 지역에서부터 지역사회 감염 전파가 시작되었고 대구와 경북은 특별한 상황이라고 판단하고 있습니다.
Of the national total, almost half are linked by a 61-year-old woman known as Patient 31 who attended religious services at the Shincheonji Church of Jesus in Daegu. She was moved from Daegu to Busan for treatment. The church in the city of Daegu has been identified as a coronavirus hotbed. More than 150 members of this church have now been infected, and this after one woman gave COVID-19 to at least 37 people at her church. Some 9,300 church members in Daegu have either been quarantined at facilities or asked to stay at home. Following the flare-up, South Korea has now declared the southeast city of Daegu and surrounding regions as special management zones.
최근 확진자가 급증해 어려움을 겪고 있는 대구와 경북 청도 지역을 감염병 특별관리지역으로 지정하여 특단의 조치를 시행하겠습니다. 최대한 빨리 접촉자를 찾아내고 확진자를 치료하는 것이 시급합니다. 병상과 인력, 장비 등 필요한 자원을 전폭적으로 지원하겠습니다.
Another big story that we're tracking, sources have told WION that China is deliberately delaying granting clearance to an Indian flight which will carry out evacuations in Wuhan. New Delhi has reacted to the delay and has asked China for a permit. Indian officials are sure that the delay is intentional. This, as sources told WION, that China has been allowing other nations to evacuate their citizens from Wuhan. Sources also tell us that India had requested for a third flight to Wuhan back on February 13th. It submitted the flight plan 2 days later, that is on February 15th. In fact, France was allowed to carry out rescue operations on February 20th, the day India's flight to China was scheduled to take off. According to sources, Japan and Ukraine carried out evacuations on February 16th and 17th, respectively. India, which has already evacuated over 600 of its citizens from Wuhan, has been ready to send another flight to rescue its remaining nationals from the coronavirus epicenter. Beijing maintains that there has been no delay, but has so far offered only vague explanations on the matter. The Chinese embassy in India has said that the prevention of coronavirus in Wuhan has entered a critical stage and that the ground situation has changed. Unlike the last time in which operations were carried out by civilian jets, this time around India is sending a military aircraft. On February 17th, New Delhi had announced that it will send the Indian Air Force's largest plane, the C-17 Globemaster, to bring back all its nationals from Wuhan. The plane will also be carrying medical supplies. The wait comes even as China said that it attached high importance to the lives and health of all foreign nationals in the country.